Mercedes-Benz, one of the most famous car brands in the world, worth around $80 billion today. It's a name we all know, a symbol of luxury and power. But did you know that it all started with a guy who had nothing but a dream, a little bit of luck, and a lot of hard work? Today, we're diving into the incredible journey of how Karl Benz turned a simple idea into the world's first car company. Buckle up, because this story is full of twists and turns. Karl Benz was born in 1844 in a small town in Germany. He grew up poor. His dad was a train driver, but when Karl was just 2 years old, his dad passed away. His mother had to work extra hard to make sure Karl had an education. Despite their struggles, Karl was really smart, especially when it came to mechanics. By 15, he was already dreaming of building something big, something that didn't exist yet, a horseless carriage, also known as the first car. At 19, Karl enrolled in engineering school, but he didn't just sit in classrooms. He took it to the streets, working odd jobs in engineering and construction. But his heart was set on one thing: building a motorized vehicle. The problem? Most other inventors were stuck on using steam engines. Karl had a different idea. He believed there was a better way, but no one believed in him. They thought he was crazy. In 1871, Karl started his first business with a partner, August Ritter. Things didn't go well. They faced trouble with money and tools being taken by the authorities. Karl needed help, and that's when Bertha Ringer came into his life. She came from a wealthy family and didn't want to see Karl fail. So she used her dowry to buy out Ritter's share of the company, and together they took over. With Bertha by his side, Karl worked day and night. He invented things like the spark plug, the carburetor, and even the clutch gear shift. But his company wasn't doing as well as he hoped. The banks wanted him to bring in other investors, which meant Karl lost control of his own company. But Karl didn't give up. He walked away from the company and started a new one, Benz NC. This time, it was different. He focused all his energy on building the world's first real automobile. In 1885, Karl Benz created the Benz patent motor wagon. It was the first true car, powered by a gasoline engine. But when Karl showed it to the world, the response was mixed. Some thought it was cool. Others thought it was dangerous. They said it was too noisy, too expensive, and that no one would ever buy it. But Karl wasn't backing down. Then in 1888, something incredible happened. Bertha Benz, Karl's wife, took the car on a 66-mile trip to visit her mother. No one had ever driven a motorized car that far before. She had no backup, no mechanics, and no idea what was going to happen along the way. The journey was full of breakdowns, flat tires, and repairs, but Bertha made it. That trip proved to the world that the automobile was here to stay, and it made the Benz brand famous. Soon, people started buying Karl's cars. In 1893, he released a new model, the Benz Victoria. It was faster, more reliable, and even had a better design. This made Benz NC the world's largest car company. But there was a catch. A competitor was catching up, Daimler, led by Gottlieb Daimler and Wilhelm Maybach. They were working on their own cars and catching the attention of the public. In 1901, they released the Mercedes, a car that would change everything. Mercedes was faster, sleeker, and more modern. It became the car to own, and it gave Daimler a huge edge over Benz. But Karl wasn't worried. He believed in his vision. He kept working on improving his cars, creating faster and better models. In 1909, he made a car that broke speed records, reaching 140 miles per hour, faster than any other car, plane, or train of the time. But as World War I broke out, everything changed. After the war, Germany was in a mess. The economy was ruined, and both Daimler and Benz were struggling. But in 1924, they put their rivalry aside and decided to join forces. Together, they created Mercedes-Benz. With the power of both companies combined, they started making some of the best cars ever seen. Sadly, Karl Benz passed away in 1929, but he lived long enough to see the success of his dream. Mercedes-Benz became one of the most valuable brands in the world, and it was all thanks to the hard work and vision of Karl Benz. But the story doesn't end there. In the 1930s, under Adolf Hitler's rise to power, Mercedes-Benz became a symbol of German engineering. They started dominating in motorsports and showing off their speed. However, World War II changed everything again. Daimler-Benz shifted to making military vehicles, using forced labor to meet the high demand. Many workers, including prisoners, were mistreated, and many died from harsh conditions. After the war, Mercedes-Benz had to rebuild. They started focusing on making ambulances, police cars, and delivery vehicles. Slowly but surely, they bounced back and became the luxury car brand we know today. So, from Karl Benz's first humble motor wagon to the modern-day Mercedes-Benz, this company's journey is nothing short of incredible. A man who started with little to no resources changed the world of transportation forever. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.